You know, when we think about the theme of today, it's the idea of scale. And, you know, we scaled all the way up to, I don't know, what is it, Jupiter or, you know, whatever the biggest planet is. But yeah, I'm gonna bring it back down and, you know, I don't wanna forget about, you know, what's right here in the middle. So I'm really excited to introduce the brand new MPA-Q Series network amplifiers for Q-SYS. These new amplifiers are intended to expand the Q-SYS experience into a more broad range of application spaces. Before we dive into how these fit into the network amplifier portfolio, let's just look at the model names, or model numbers. So again, it's the MPA-Q Series. That does stand for medium power amplifier, and of course the Q stands for Q-SYS. We have 4 models in total, 2 4-channel models at 250 watts or 500 watts per channel. And we have 2 8-channel models at 125 watts and 250 watts per channel. So how do these fit in? Well, they're gonna fit really nicely right in the middle, as I mentioned. So you may already be familiar with our CX-Q line of amplifiers or SPA-Q. And MPA-Q really is intended to fit into those applications where maybe SPA-Q isn't quite enough power or CX-Q is just too much power. So that can be spaces across hospitality, including retail, other performance applications, or even government applications. And then they can pair with the either the AD series loudspeakers or some of our PL series performance loudspeakers to really give you a more complete portfolio of choices to deploy your Q-SYS audio, the audio portion of your Q-SYS system across all of these spaces. So what about specs? Well, great question. It's loaded with them. First off, the MPA-Q does offer both high Z and low Z modes, and that does operate on a per channel basis, similar to CX-Q. It comes with redundant network connections as well as analog line inputs to bring in your analog audio devices as well. So on your 4-channel models, you will have 4 analog inputs, and on your 8-channel models, you'll have 8 analog inputs. And we didn't forget about control. So with 4 general purpose inputs and 2 dry contact closure relays, you can integrate your legacy devices for control. And the form factor, 2RU. So that's gonna allow us to use a bigger and quieter fan. That'll be more efficient at cooling. And we did put a lot of purpose and effort into creating a low noise floor design that's gonna offer more clean gain in your performance and front of house applications. Now it should go without saying, but I'm gonna say it. Reliability is important in any application, right? So we've added a couple different features that really help to enable that reliability in these spaces. So first off, I'll point you over to LAN A where you see this PoE indicator. Now this is not a PoE amplifier. However, what this does is in the event of a power outage, it allows for the amplifier if you're running your network on backup power, it allows for the processor to continue running so it actually lets audio come back quicker without waiting for the full reboot of the system. So really the intended outcome is to minimize any audio interruptions in the event of a power outage. And there's a couple benefits of having analog inputs. One of those is having an on-ramp into Q-SYS. So those audio inputs are indeed routable within the Q-SYS network. And speaking of networks, because you have those analog inputs, you can also use that as a backup should you have a network outage. This amp is capable of running as a fully analog amplifier, which you may have guessed by this switch on the back, which does allow you to switch between Q-SYS and analog mode. That analog mode could also be an option if you don't have network infrastructure in place and still want to be able to deploy a Q-SYS amplifier that could eventually be part of a Q-SYS system in the future. And there is a lot more to learn on the MPA-Q series, which you can see at our website on qsys.com/MPA-Q series. And finally, these amplifiers will be available to ship in the April timeframe.